Imagine realizing that your body no longer responds the same way it did a few years ago. You wake up tired even after a full night in bed. Your belly seems to grow for no apparent reason. The craving for sweets appears at the end of the day with an intensity that never existed before. Your mood fluctuates, your sleep becomes lighter, your energy disappears, and a silent feeling of imbalance starts becoming part of your routine. And most women believe this is simply part of aging. But what if I told you that your body is trying to communicate with you all the time? What if these signs were not isolated problems, but messages sent by your own body indicating that your hormonal environment is being influenced every single day by the choices you make, especially by your diet? Before we begin, if you enjoy trustworthy, accessible, and evidence-based content about menopause, women's health, healthy aging, and quality of life, take a moment to subscribe to the channel. Our goal here is to transform complex scientific information into simple guidance that can help you take better care of your body at every stage of life. One of the greatest discoveries of modern medicine is that hormones do not work independently. They function as a huge communication network within the body. Estrogen, progesterone, cortisol, and insulin are constantly communicating with one another. And what is most interesting is that this conversation is deeply influenced by daily habits. Many women believe hormones suddenly change, but that is not how it happens. Especially after the ages of 35, 40, and 50, progressive changes begin to occur that affect multiple systems in the body at the same time. Organizations such as the North American Menopause Society, the Mayo Clinic, and Harvard Medical School explain that nutrition does not completely control hormones, but it profoundly influences how the body responds to the natural hormonal changes of aging. And this completely changes the way we should look at the problem. Because perhaps the right question is not, how do I control my hormones? Perhaps the question should be, how can I create an internal environment that allows my body to function as efficiently as possible? First, we need to understand something very important. Estrogen is not only responsible for fertility. It participates in body fat distribution, protects the brain, helps maintain healthy bones, contributes to cardiovascular health, and even influences insulin sensitivity. Progesterone, in turn, is associated with relaxation of the nervous system and sleep quality. Cortisol is the body's main stress hormone. When it remains elevated for long periods, it can promote abdominal fat accumulation, increase inflammation, and intensify hunger. And insulin works like a key that helps glucose enter the cells. When the body begins responding less effectively to this key, so-called insulin resistance develops, a very common condition during perimenopause and menopause. That is why so many women ask themselves, why does belly fat increase right after the age of 40? The answer is multifactorial. The gradual decline of estrogen changes body fat distribution. The natural loss of muscle mass slows metabolism. Stress increases cortisol, sleep worsens, and all of this directly interferes with the way the body uses energy. But there is good news. Science shows that some foods can help create a much more favorable biological environment to face these changes. And the first one may be one of the most underestimated: flax seeds. You may not realize it, but the gut is one of the greatest hormonal regulators in the human body. Flax seeds are rich in fiber and lignans, plant compounds associated with healthier estrogen metabolism. When the gut microbiota is balanced, the body can process and eliminate hormones more efficiently. In addition, fiber helps control blood sugar levels, improves satiety, and supports digestive health. But then a new question arises. If the gut is so important, why do so many women remain inflamed even when trying to eat better? The answer leads us to the second food: omega-3 rich fish, such as salmon, sardines, and mackerel. Chronic low-grade inflammation is one of the biggest challenges of metabolic aging. It does not cause immediate or obvious symptoms, but it interferes with insulin function, increases cardiovascular risk, and even affects brain health. Omega-3 helps regulate inflammatory processes and provides important support for the brain, heart, and metabolism. And this is exactly where many women begin to notice a major difference in how their bodies respond. Because this is not about losing weight quickly, it is about restoring metabolic efficiency. Some women have also sought additional support during menopause through the supplement indicated in the first link in the description. It does not replace healthy habits, but it can serve as an additional tool within a broader strategy that includes a balanced diet, physical activity, adequate sleep, and professional guidance. Now think about something very common. Why do cravings for sweets seem to increase at the end of the day? This happens because accumulated stress can raise cortisol levels, causing blood sugar fluctuations and increasing the desire for ultra-processed foods. This is where the third food comes in: avocado. Avocado is rich in monounsaturated fats, which help promote satiety and provide important raw materials for various hormonal processes. It also contributes to greater energy stability throughout the day. And when energy becomes more stable, intense sugar cravings tend to decrease. But there is another very common problem. Many women remain tired even though they believe they are eating well. And that leads us to the fourth food: eggs. There is an extremely important concept that very few people know. Muscle mass is one of the greatest regulators of the female metabolism. As we age, gradual muscle loss occurs, a condition called sarcopenia. This reduction directly affects metabolic rate, physical strength, and even the body's ability to use glucose properly. Eggs provide high-quality protein, choline, and essential nutrients for brain and muscle health. Every protein-rich meal works as an investment in preserving muscle mass, and preserving muscle means protecting your metabolism. But there is still one final piece to this puzzle. Is there any food that also contributes to a more balanced and less inflammatory internal environment? The answer lies in cruciferous vegetables: broccoli, cauliflower, cabbage, and kale. These foods provide bioactive compounds associated with healthy estrogen metabolism. In addition, they offer fiber, vitamins, and antioxidants that help fight oxidative stress and inflammation. And now notice how everything is connected. Estrogen influences body fat redistribution. Progesterone influences sleep. Cortisol influences stress and abdominal fat. Insulin influences energy storage. Muscle mass influences metabolism. The gut influences the hormonal environment, and silent inflammation accelerates several aging processes. That is why there is no miracle food, and this may be the most important discovery of all. None of these foods by themselves will instantly balance your hormones. True transformation happens when small, consistent choices are repeated daily. Many women ask whether it is really possible to improve symptoms through nutrition. The answer is yes, but it is important to understand exactly what that means. Nutrition does not stop aging, nor does it make menopause disappear. What it does is profoundly influence the way the body goes through this stage. Women who preserve muscle mass, prioritize protein, consume fiber daily, use healthy fats, manage stress, protect their sleep, and maintain regular physical activity tend to have better insulin sensitivity, lower inflammation, and a better quality of life. That is why, in the first link in the description, there is a supplement designed to support women during this stage of life, helping metabolism, weight management, and overall well-being during menopause and postmenopause. And the main takeaway is this: these 5 foods do not balance hormones directly or instantly. They help build a more favorable biological environment so that the female body can function more efficiently. This happens because they provide fiber, protein, healthy fats, and bioactive compounds that influence gut health, inflammation, insulin sensitivity, muscle preservation, and estrogen metabolism. And there is a very important message I would like you to take with you. Your body is not failing. Most of the time, it is simply going through a phase of biological adaptation that requires new strategies and new forms of care. The good news is that there are science-backed ways to make this transition much easier. Proper nutrition, strength training, preserving muscle mass, quality sleep, stress management, medical follow-up, and appropriate nutritional support can significantly improve quality of life, metabolic balance, and overall well-being. And if this content helped you better understand your own body, subscribe to the channel and follow the upcoming videos. The more knowledge you have, the more autonomy you will have to go through this phase with confidence, security, and health, always based on reliable information and scientific evidence.